Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Welcome to today's episode of how we're trying to not get fucked. I'm your host, Louis Rossman. This is Bull Creek Park, and the reason I'm doing a video in Bull Creek Park is because this is one of the three parks that was cited in a news article that was used as an argument for why we need to have AI-powered surveillance cameras installed in Austin at taxpayer expense. There's a bunch of burglaries that were going on where people were breaking into people's cars and stealing everything that was in the car. And there's one park, not one park, there were three parks where 90% of those burglaries were occurring. Bull Creek Park, somewhere near Mount Bonnell, and then another one that I forgot the name of. So I wanted to actually visit and just take a look at what it looks like at these parks. And admittedly, I just kind of had a curiosity, wanted to see if anybody tried to break into the park while I was here, and just get a lay of it. So this is a sign. It says, "Protected, it's yours, never unlocked, nothing in view, do not leave any keys in your vehicle, and remove all valuables." And there's another sign at the other end where they're showing you the people that they suspect have broken into the cars before. I'll show you that. Let's walk over there. I really need to get a gimbal for this, or even a monopod. Literally anything I could hold it by. This video must be making you guys nauseous. You have this there. Call 911 if seen. APD detectives seek assistance in locating suspects involved in various burglaries at city parks. APD news release. So it's obvious that they've had some problems with this. So the issue is when people show up and they see there's a bunch of glass on the ground, they decide, you know what, I'm not parking my car here. And it's bad when people decide that they don't want to go to city parks anymore because they're afraid of being broken into. It's not good for the city. Now, if they want to install these AI-powered surveillance systems in the parks, and I've said why I think this is a bad idea in those last two videos. It's one thing for a business or a home to have their own surveillance cameras. That's a CCTV system, closed circuit television. It's another to have thousands of cameras that get put everywhere that can be monitored at one central location by either the police or a private company, and then use AI to look through the footage. That's creepy. So if you want to do something like stalk your ex, you can do that. If you want to do something like, say, I don't know, what do people that take part in this activity look like? Okay, show me the movement patterns and any patterns that you've distinguished that these people take part in during the hours of 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. between Thursday through Friday. Like, it's just weird. There's infinite possibilities for abuse. And Houston police have been seen using these cameras. When they're supposed to type into the box why they're using them, they would type in ASDF or donut. ASDF or donut. Imagine seeing a warrant where the probable cause written on it was ASDF or donut. It's fucked up. It's just bad. So I wanted these things out of the city. And my brain is not written in a way where I could just talk about a problem without wanting to try and figure out how to actually fix it. So a lot of what got me into doing the board repair videos when I started was that Apple was telling the customers that the Genius Bar, that if somebody says they can fix the board without replacing it, so it works again, that they're scamming you. And that enraged me. So it's like, really? Okay, cool. Let's do this. I spent all this money on a microscope camera, because my old microscope that I had did not allow me to record well out of it. A new computer, capture hardware. And I just started recording videos every single day, showing that they're completely full of shit. Like, I didn't want to just say, right to repair, they're full of shit. It's right to repair, they're full of shit. Let me prove it, and let me show you how you could take part in the thing that I find fun so you can benefit as well. And the same thing is true here. I want to say why I think that these AI-powered surveillance cameras are bullshit, but if I'm not addressing the underlying problem, then nobody's going to care. The thing that people care about is that they want to go to the park, but they're afraid to go to the park because when they go to the park, people break into their car. So I started looking into this and a little bit more. And what I was saying is, well, if you send a cop to the park, that's going to be infinitely more useful than a stupid AI-powered surveillance camera, because Bonzi Buddy on a telephone pole does not stop crime. A cop, whether or not you like the police, a cop is more likely to stop a burglary than a Bonzi Buddy. AI-powered camera not doing shit if somebody goes to a park and decides, I'm going to break into shit, right? Police are more likely to stop crackheads than cameras. But just saying. So I started looking into this more because I have not lived in Austin very long. I moved here 3 years ago. And apparently, I'm just looking through the entire history of everything occurring and why I would sound stupid if I went to that hearing and said, why not just put a cop there? Well, in 2019, there was a shortage of police. They had more vacant positions that they had not filled. They had a good amount of vacant positions at Austin Police Department that they did not fill. In 2020, in August of 2020, they voted to defund the police by, it was about a measure of 11-0. The vote in the city council was 11-0 to defund the police. Now, after that happened, I forget if it was 1 or 2 cadet academies that had temporarily closed. Please do correct me if I'm wrong on the numbers. I believe it was 1 or 2 cadet academies that had temporarily closed. So now you have people who quit that year, and you have less cadets being trained, so now you have even less police. Now, here's the fun. So that was the city council that did that one. Now, after the city council did that, it gets even more fun. Governor Abbott comes in and says, in Texas, we respect our law enforcement officers. We are not going to allow any municipality with more than 250,000 people to defund their police. If they want to defund the police, we will be seizing their sales tax or property tax revenue. I be honest, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was a very, very big stick that he could use to beat the cities with if they decided that they wanted to defund the police. So they can't defund the police. Now, think about this. Imagine that you're my employee. Let's say you're one of my 6 employees. Now, let's say that 2 people quit, right? 2 people quit. There's 4 people left. And let's say the 4 people left do a bad job. They do a really bad job. And I'm about to negotiate your salary. And you're the union rep negotiating on the side of the employees. You know that I can't lower my budget. I can't spend less money on you, even if you suck. What are you going to negotiate for yourself? So I'll let you Google in like 2020 to 2022 how the police union was able to negotiate their contracts with the city. Needless to say, they gave themselves some good raises, and there's still a bunch of vacant positions. Now, the law didn't say, we are going to use the difference between your old police budget and your new police budget. We are going to take that from your sales tax revenue, and then we are going to use that to fund DPS doing patrols until you restore policing to the prior levels. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that we're going to construct this particular plan for policing to ensure that there's coverage. It just says you can't defund them or else. Now, what do you think is going to happen if you're the police union in that scenario? You have 100 or 200 less officers than you did a few years earlier. Check. So that you know that the budget cannot go down, check, and you're negotiating your next year's contract. I'll let you guys Google to see how much of a raise they gave themselves, but needless to say, that did not put the city in a good negotiating position. I don't think that the city council realized when they voted 11-0 to defund the police, that and the academies closed, that 5 years later, the citizens would be so desperate to not have break-ins in the parks that they would want Bonzi Buddy installed on telephone poles spying on them. I don't think that the governor realized when he was trying to score his political victory and saying, fuck the woke municipalities that want to defund the police, that he wouldn't actually be helping the police or the people get better policing. He would just be allowing the police union to bend over the city and put them in a very, very good negotiating position that would not actually help the people of Austin. And so I don't see that actually getting fixed. So if I show up and I say, why not just put a cop there? I sound like a fucking idiot. And I would be, because it would be completely illiterate to the actual problem of, well, we don't have somebody to send there. We don't have enough police. We don't have somebody to send there. I can't help you. It's like, yeah. And if I was a city council person, I'd be like, oh yeah, tell me more. Yeah, sure. I'll just assign one there right now. So I'm not even getting into like the city council and Greg Abbott and all that other shit, because like, fuck that. This is a problem that is going to take probably 5 to 15 years to sort itself out. And in the meantime, what do? Well, I like solving problems. So I wanted to show up to the park, and I spent a good portion of my day here just kind of walking around and trying to not stay away from the parking lot for too long so that I could see what it looked like. Now, there's a guy, I did a video on this. There was a guy that was walking around right by my store, and he was breaking every single car window of every single car. I walk outside because I'm parked outside. Steve walks outside because he's parked right in front of me. And eventually, when they saw we were walking outside, the rest of my store just kind of followed, because my employees are almost as psychotic as I am. I mean that in a good way. Like that's a good thing in this one regard. And the police see that this guy's breaking every window. He didn't do anything. And when Steve goes up, takes his stick, and then the police go and arrest him. What am I telling the story for? Well, the point is, there's this image that's painted of criminals, that every criminal you see is like some, like a Russian or Italian mafia from the 60s in New York that's just going to kill you immediately. Or like I don't know, like the gangster rappers that are going to shoot you 80 times. But most criminals that I've encountered in my life, and because I've lived in areas that were, I'll just say, considerably rougher than what I'm seeing over here. When I read that there was an area where 90% of break-ins occurred, something told me it was going to look a lot rougher than this, but it does anyway. Is that most of them are complete bitches. I mean, like cowards. The type of person that instead of doing something productive is like, I'm going to wait for somebody to walk away so that I could break the window of their car and then steal their HP DV9000 out of their car while they're not looking. Yeah, look at me. I'm so great. It's a weasel. It's a bitch. It's the type of person that is not going to continue doing what they're doing when they know that somebody's walking up to them or that somebody's watching or is just about to say hi. Not a camera, but a person. So, I was kind of hoping that maybe somebody would walk out of their car, walk around to the other cars, and at some point, walk up to the other car that's not theirs, and I would just kind of get out of mine and say, hey, it seems like you may be confused as to which vehicle is yours. Would you like some help? Nothing mean, nothing crazy. I'm not showing up here with a horse and a helmet and a mace and a wrecking ball. It seems like you're a little confused as to which vehicle is yours. Would you like some help? It's a beautiful day outside, isn't it? Got a little turtle over there. What made you come here? I thought this place was beautiful myself. I came here to see the turtle and those little fishies that match the color of the bottom of the pond. Just say hi. Be polite. Be kind. Be cordial. And engaging with the person that is walking up to cars that are not theirs and looking into the back windows of them. And the reason I say that is because I don't see how any of these problems actually fix themselves in a normal way. You can't send more police here because you don't have them. You can't really renegotiate things. You can't make up for the few years that the cadet academies were closed. If they could hire from elsewhere, they probably would have. I can't fix that clusterfuck. You can't put up an AI-powered surveillance camera either, because what you're going to do is you're going to spend $2 million of taxpayer money on Bonzi Buddy, and after you put Bonzi Buddy up there, he's just going to watch people steal shit anyway. Because as much of a cowardly bitch as some of those criminals are, they're also stupid. They may know that thing's taking a picture of them, but they'll still do it. So if there's only 3 parks where this shit's occurring in, what if people just showed up a little more often? How many people work from home that could work from a park bench with a Wi-Fi hotspot being used on their phone? How many people got nothing better to do? How many people have a few days to take off? I'm curious if I could actually organize some people to show up to these 3 parks, if I am able to figure out details on the times during which most of the break-ins occur, to just sit by and say hello and be friendly. Truly, be in honesty. Be as friendly as you can to everybody who shows up. It's one of the things I like moving to Texas is people actually say hi to you. Shit, New York City, if somebody random is saying hi to me, I'm fucking checking my back pocket to make sure everything's there. Make some new friends, say hi, and then when the person shows up that wants to break into the car, and he sees that there are people from the community that are actually spending time in the park and enjoying it and all there, is he as likely to break into shit as he would have otherwise? I'm guessing the answer to that is no. And then at that point, you've done something to fix the problem that is real, rather than just point it out and complain about it. Because I don't want to be the reason that AI-powered surveillance cameras show up all over my city. What are the things I could do to help? What are the things that you could do to help? If you live in Austin, would you be open to showing up to those 3 parks during the times where people are most likely to break into cars? And would you be open to just sit on the bench, be polite, kind, cordial, and when you see that person show up, say, hi, how's it going, my friend? I'm Lewis. Nice to meet you. And see what happens. I've been here for a good part of my day. I've said hi to a lot of people. It's been fun. It's a beautiful park. I'm gonna go to the next park and take a look at what that looks like. Here's another park. So this is a Mount Bunnell right by here. You can see they have all the signs. I'm guessing that they've had enough of people getting their stuff broken into. There was a wanted poster down there as well. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, the reason I emphasize the importance of doing something is the 9 out of 11 of the city council members that voted to defund the police in August of 2020 are not city council members anymore. it's not their problem. They don't have to care about people voting or not voting for or against AI-powered surveillance in their city. That's not their problem. Governor Abbott has deep DPS to use as his personal security. This is not an issue at all. If the rule or regulation that he passes makes it more difficult for the city to negotiate reasonable contracts with the police that actually result in better policing, none of those individuals care. They care about protecting their political ass, staying in office, and just doing what's easy in the moment rather than what's easy to live with. So let's see. What does it look like here? I want to walk around the park a little bit. Obviously, one of the big issues is the parking here. At least at the other park, you could enjoy the river a little bit from where everybody's parking. But here, if you want to enjoy the park, you kind of have to go far away from your car. I don't see any broken glass yet. Admittedly, I have not done the research to figure out during which times most of the burglaries or break-ins are occurring. I would really love to get access to that type of information. It would be very useful. Warning, crime watch. There have been several burglaries of vehicles at this location. Please do not leave valuables in vehicles. That is a nice looking Toyota Camry, I'll give it that. Nice styling. Covert Park at Mount Bonnell. More wanted posters. God damn. My mortal enemy. Stairs. Oh boy. Look at the stairs. This is a pretty place. Hey, how are you? Now I also understand one of the problems is even if you heard the glass break, by the time you went up all these stairs, probably too tired to run back down. Wow. That's beautiful. All sorts of cool houses in the hills over there. But it's kind of cloudy. It looks like my lens is foggy. My lens is not foggy at all. It's very cloudy outside. The really horny cricket if you're listening to him. Really fancy houses over here. Nice. Very pretty. I can see why people risk getting their car destroyed to come up here. I imagine I would have mixed success with the idea of finding people that have nothing better to do to sit in the parking lot of these 3 parks for a week or 2. I also don't have any other idea I don't like to discuss problems without discussing solutions. I genuinely believe that your average bum that would be excited to break into a car would be less likely to do so if somebody were walking around and walked up to them and said, "How's it going, my friend? How are you?" Maybe I'm naive. I'm going to try to figure out during which times of day this happens the most. And see if I could, once I know what times of day it happens the most, at what location, spend some time there. Who knows? Maybe the people doing it will hear that people are spending time there and decide this isn't worth my time anymore. Maybe they'll stop showing up and breaking into people's cars. Find something else to do with their life. This is beautiful. It's worth showing up just to take a look at the view. Anyway, that's it for today. And as always, hope you learned something. See you in the next video. Bye now.